So I finally ended up acquiring a set of Deity W.Lav Pros, and the first thing I thought I'd do is provide you guys with a nice comparison between the lav mic that I've been using up until now, which is the Tentacle Audio lav mic, which I already compared to the Sennheiser ME2 lavalier microphone, which is included in the Sennheiser G3 and G4 sets if you already have some of those. So make sure to check out that comparison if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to that in the video. But to bring you up to speed, what we discovered in that comparison is that surprisingly, at half the price, approximately half the price of the Sennheiser ME2, the Tentacle Audio lav mic actually sounds not significantly better, but just better enough to justify purchasing that lav mic instead of the Sennheiser ME2 if you're ever looking for replacements and potentially even to upgrade your sound just a little bit. But today, we're going to be comparing the Tentacle Audio lav mic with the Deity W.Lav Pro, and this, in my opinion, takes it to a whole other level. Although both of these microphones are considered budget-level lavalier microphones, I think both of them provide a, if anything, something close to a cinematic level quality lavalier experience, but I would say the Deity Lav Pro is much closer to that objective than the Tentacle lav mic, which is a little bit more suitable for corporate work, interviews, and that kind of thing. If you're going to be working on film and TV sets, I highly recommend the Deity W.Lav Pro if you're on a budget, and that's because it's actually been compared to the Sanken COS 11D, which I've heard comparisons myself, and I think that they're not exactly the same, but they sound almost identical. Like if you, in a mix context, like in the actual mix for a film, I don't think I would be able to tell these two apart. But the cool thing about the Deity W.Lav Pro, which the Sanken COS 11D doesn't have, is the fact that it is waterproof. So like you could literally take the W.Lav Pro, put it in a glass of water, submerge it in a lake or whatever, and it will still be working. So that's a pretty cool bonus, I would say, especially if you're into like field recording and creating sound effects and stuff. You can actually get some pretty cool sounds in waters, with a microphone submerged in water, if that's something that you want to do on your free time. But the important thing is that if you're going to be concealing these microphones under clothes on set, the water resistance will actually increase the lifespan of your microphone because, as you may know, actors and actresses do sweat from time to time, especially on a really hot day. And that sweat could actually end up damaging your lav mic. So Sanken COS 11D is approximately in the $400 range. And if you get one of those, they are repairable. But having those things serviced over and over again because of water damage could become, quite costly in the long run. Well, that's something you're not going to have to worry about with the Deity W.Lav Pro. So I really like that feature, and I think it makes it a really nice addition to my field recording kit for sound effects. Other than that, both of these microphones have actual physical differences. So I don't know if you can see from where I'm sitting right now, but the Tentacle lav mic as well as the Sennheiser ME2 are just a little bit chunkier, but I still consider them small. I mean, they're not that difficult to conceal. I've never had difficulty concealing them under clothes and that kind of thing. But the Deity W.Lav Pro is significantly thinner and smaller, which makes it much easier to conceal in things like hats, beanies, and even buttons of shirts. You can actually, fit it in the actual opening for the button, which is relatively popular lav miking technique on film sets because it actually exposes your microphone to the open air, so it's not completely concealed underneath the clothes, which has the tendency to muffle the microphone if the clothes is particularly thick or dense. So those are things worth considering, and obviously we're not going to get into techniques right now. Now I have both microphones clipped onto my shirt at the same distance relative to the sound source, just because I want you guys to hear it in, well, first of all, in an ideal setting, and to be more specific, we are in a completely acoustically treated and soundproofed room right now, so that's going to give us really controlled results as to how these microphones actually sound like. If you're thinking of using both of these microphones outdoors, we're not going to cover that in this video because it will not actually affect the sound quality. However, what you need to keep in mind is you're definitely going to have to accommodate both of these microphones for outdoor recording, especially on a windy day. So both of these microphones do come with the appropriate accessories such as wind muffs and that kind of thing. But as you may know, getting a really good sound outdoors really comes down to microphone placement and knowing about which accessory to use, when, and where. So if you want to know more about that, leave me a comment and I will most likely end up making a video on that subject anyways, but that's just if you want to expedite the process a little bit. But that being said, I think both of these microphones still sound really, really good, and there's, I think you would still have difficulty distinguishing them in the context of a mix, but I have to say that the W.Lav Pro from Deity definitely has more of that cinematic edge. It sounds fuller, it sounds more balanced, and it really sounds like something that I would feel confident using on higher budget productions. So that being said, that pretty much covers what I wanted to cover today. You've heard the back and forths from these two microphones, and you're probably starting to develop your own ideas in regards to which one you like better and which one you're thinking of purchasing. But if you have any questions that I have not already addressed, feel free to leave them in the comments, and make sure to let us know which of these two microphones you think sounds best and why. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.